I've not used this before, so I'm just trying it out.
It's time for everyone's favorite educational program, Oh, Ring a Bell! Yay!
Yay!
Yo, Joe!
Yo, Joe and Cobra! Ring a bell. And I was doing a little bit of a slideshow in between shows. Clips, because we do love a good clip. G'day, Nate. My mate, Nate. We do this show for you so that you can learn a little bit about G.I. Joe and Cobra, and we appreciate it. But, Nate, we also have a guest. Who's hanging out with us today?
We've got Phil!
Yeah! We got Phil!
Konnichiwa, guys. Thanks for the last-minute invite. Good to be on Oh, Ring a Bell. My favorite show. My favoriteest show on a Monday night.
We appreciate it, buddy. We appreciate having a little bit of treasure on our show today. Now, today's going to be full of treasures. Now, I am famously lazy. You can't spell Zazel without lazy. Trust me. So I don't often put a lot of effort into clips and stuff. I usually leave that up to people with more skill than me, like Nate over here, who came up with not one, not two, but 3 video clips that I use on today's episode. I used one at the beginning because I was like, where am I going to put this one? I know, I'll put it at the beginning. But I've actually put together a little game. So we're going to play a game today. Phil, you might know a little bit more about the answers to this game. So
I'm not confident about that at all.
Good. We will get into the game a little bit later after a little bit of Joe and Tell. But because, Phil, you might know a little bit more than Nate, we're going to let Nate have a crack at the answer. And then I'll throw it to you, Phil, and see if you disagree or agree with his answer. And then I'll be like, oh, damn, I was wrong. You guys are right. Well, let's say hi to the chat real quick. Look at this one mustache here, because I trimmed my mustache. Look at this one that's just bothering me. One loosey-goosey one.
Just bite it off. That's what I do. Chew it off.
Yeah. Who needs a trimmer when you got teeth? Let's say hi to the people in the chat. I got all right. Maggots from Johnny. How are you,
my boy?
Kimbo, still feeling a little unwell. Happy to see you here, though. Do you hear bells? You can ring my bell. No, stop. And only because that was so good that we'll probably get a copyright strike.
Yeah, we don't want that.
We also have Michael's top esophagus. Good morning. Great way to start off the workday. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. It's evening over here. Phil pulling double duty. Happy Monday, Timo Bell. That's clever.
Clever.
Skyfall with a good morning.
Hey,
Skyfall. Guten Morgen, fellow friends of O Ring a Bell. Thank you, Lilith. Thank you for being here.
Lilith.
I have a sorted disorder too. I remember when, maybe I'll play that at the end of the show, because Phil, sorry, Phil, I think you do everything for me, and you probably do. But Adam from Go Figure came up with a song called Sorted Disorder. You guys remember that one?
Yep. Indeed, it's a classic. You guys need to bring out an album, mate. You got a few. Fill an album now.
We've got an album's worth of material. I'll just make it a clip show. We'll just do a full clip show where it's all just clips and music. Brilliant.
Or Zazel does a William Shatner spoken word album of all the songs.
I need a better voice for that. I need a less of a bogan voice for that.
That's what makes it so good.
Perfect. Kiwi's here, ready for another awesome show. Smash that like button. I appreciate it. And this is like, in the game, how fast can you get Phil to spend his pocket money at retail? That was a fun game.
It was great fun.
Zealous with the fellows over on Go Figures channel. Guys, I'm so pumped for today, but we're going to start off. I get to do another clip, see? And that's what I like about this show is we'll get another clip. So we're going to start our day with a bit, or end our evening. We're going to start our day with a little bit of Joe and Tell. So if you've got something you want to bring along to the party, you can, right after this short clip.
Gather round, boys and girls. It's time for Joe and Tell. Sit down, you little snots. Pay attention.
Yay! Pay attention. I noticed that sneaky jam jar in the corner too, Nate.
Yeah, I needed something to put there.
Uncle Jam wants you.
Yeah, Uncle Jam. So Nate went on a little bit of an adventure recently, so we're going to get Nate to show and tell all about his Joe excursion and what he picked up. Show us some toys, buddy. How many liters of toys was it?
I came home from Newcastle Collecticon with 10 liters of toys.
10 liters?
10 liters.
It's a lot of Joes.
Well, I didn't get 10 liters of Joes, unfortunately. But I did get some, and I have not looked into who they are yet, so I thought I'd just bring them on here and ask Zazel. Zazel.
But every time you show us one, you got to say, "Who are you?"
No.
Who? Nice. Okay.
It's Zazel. New Joe. Who dis?
Oh, even better. That I know who that is. That is another version of Monkey Wrench, or it's Macho Man Randy Savage in his Cobra days.
Okay. Monkey Wrench. That's cool.
No, I'm just kidding. It's not really Monkey Wrench.
You need to learn, man.
Don't listen to a word he says. Is that Metalhead?
It is Metalhead. Yeah. So Metalhead in the cartoon, he would say a lot of the times, either before or end of a sentence, he would say "bang bang," and then he would shoot off his rockets. He couldn't shoot off a rocket without saying "bang bang." So
he's obviously not a sniper, or not a very good one.
No, not at all. But he does have a little like the crosshair is sculpted onto his goggles there.
Okay. Oh yeah, I can see that. I haven't looked at them very closely because I legit didn't want to learn about them until now.
Aaron is here with I love Metalhead.
Yeah, I was just grabbing, like, it's the first time in my life I've found cheap Joes.
Metalhead. Oh, I got the stray hair. I think I got it. Anyway, Metalhead. I think I folded out. Metalhead was part of the Iron Grenadiers also, so that is often overlooked when talking about Metalhead. I find, because he did have a second version, and I don't think it had anything to do with the Iron Grenadiers, but he started off as one of Destro's Iron Grenadiers.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you need a whole bunch of rockets for him now.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right then. New Joe, who it is?
Yeah, so that is Metalhead with
Metalhead.
So I think that one might be Dojo. Yeah, from Ninja Force.
Cool. Oh, we started to look at Ninja Force.
Yeah, we did. We started with Shabang. That guy's got rooted hair, and I mean that as in it's rooted into the back of his head, not that it's not good.
Yeah, he was pretty.
That is a gnarly ponytail coming out of the back of him.
Now,
Yeah.
do you think Dojo is bald on the top, or has he shaved it purposely? And he's like kept the ponytail because he's like, not willing to let go entirely of his hair.
It's party in the back.
It's only party. There's no business.
No business up front. It's only party in the back.
In fact, if you ask about his head, he says, "Mind your own business."
I have a feeling that this guy is of a similar vein, but New Joe, who it is?
Ooh.
Yeah, so this one, Phil, you're going to have to remind me whether this one's slice or dice.
That is, I'm 99% sure that is slice. Version
I
2,
was going to say dice.
version 1, I think, is the red one. That looks like a second version of it.
I like the orange over the red, to be honest. I think that you don't get a lot of cool orange Joes, and that speckled look is pretty cool. I would have said it was dice, not slice. And he has 2 ribbons, pretty. One on the side, and one on the back of the head. We'll throw it to the.
Aaron's going with slice. Yeah,
he's going with slice. Yeah, I would have lost a trivia bet on that. He's got real ninja action too, so watch out. Also, looks like he would be really good in a fencing competition.
Yeah, it does look like a fencing mask. And some of
It
these
must be offensive.
I think this might have been the reason they green stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He'd be good in a cocktail too. An orange slice. Oh!
I had a beer with an orange slice in it, thanks to my best friend Nasaj.
That's right. The best beer you've ever had, right? Or the best orange you've ever
had. I kept the orange peel after. No, just kidding. That's too psycho. No, put the orange away. I don't want to show it now. All right, so it's definitely slice. I'd have lost that trivia bet, but I knew off the bat that I couldn't remember which one was which.
Nice, thanks, chat.
We did have a little look at dice last time though when we looked at Kano. I
don't know who that is.
Now again, I'd have said that was some kind of Duke, but I don't think that it is Duke. I think that's Duke's helmet.
That's Duke's helmet, which I think is pretty cool because I've got the version 3 Duke, but I don't have his helmet.
Who's in the chat? Kiwi, help us out here, buddy. Threw a bit of mace at us. Have I been drinking? No. Mace is the name, but the helmet looks pretty good, and it does kind of look like Duke.
Yeah, it does a bit. So I had this figure already from the neck down, basically. You had a different head put on it.
Right.
And it's all like covered in paint. So I was just going to use the other one for parts. But yeah.
I'll tell you what though, tan pants is it's an odd choice.
Yeah, he had a bit of an accident.
Yep. He's maced himself.
Now this one, I do know what it is because I happened to see one. I found it on the second run, but on the first run around, I saw one on card, and I was like,
right.
I was like, that's a weird Joe. That is a weird G.I. Joe toy. And it's this Destro.
Yes. That's the Star Brigade Destro. Now, does he not have an arm now? Do you reckon his arms maybe in the armor like this, or operating some sort of?
It's tucked up like a chicken wing.
Because they got heavy duty also in that style. It's got a cool helmet, heavy duty, but it's got no arm either. It's got the rocket launcher. And I think the only good one, Destro looks pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but I think the only good one in this style is Robo Joe.
Yeah, okay. I think it'd look all right with the helmet on. But he's just like
his head looks like so pea size.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty cool that I just saw one on the card and thought that's weird, and then was literally digging through a tub that was like four figures for $10, and so I dug through until I found Joe's.
Where on earth can you find 4 Joes for $10 these days? Not many places.
Yeah,
And you found the one place that was doing it.
they were well hidden. They were like right in the bottom of this thing. It was all like really junky sort of, a lot of like modern crappy stuff. But yeah, I picked up a few Joes and a few Leonard figures. And this is the last actual G.I. Joe I picked up, but he's in pieces. New Joe, who it is?
That is Storm Shadow, and he's got some green on him again. What do you think that green is from?
I think it's literally. I think it's green stuff. It's a little putty called green stuff. That's what as much as I can figure out it is.
It won't come off, right?
It'll come off, but I'm going to do it. Oh yeah, see, I got some of it off there.
Yeah.
But I'll do it carefully so I don't break anything.
I loved green stuff for about 10 seconds and then hated it and never went back to it. It is like, Phil, if you thought you were stressed out going to Zeller's with your pocket money, there's nothing stresses you out more than a race against time to sculpt something out of something that hardens very quickly.
Well,
I mean, it gives you a...
This is like what I work with the milliput too. It's I don't know what kind of cure time the green stuff has, so but you have a fair bit of time to work with the stuff. But yeah, it is.
I didn't have enough time.
It is a lot more relaxing when it's something that you can just work until it's ready.
Yeah.
Then, but there are ups and downs. But anyway,
is that a good guy Storm? Is that a good guy Storm Shadow or a Cobra Storm Shadow? That version. Well, is only version one is only version one Cobra of Storm Shadow.
Oh, Phil, you're going to ruin my game later.
Okay. Forget it.
No. Actually, that's a good point. I don't think I added Storm Shadow, but yes, there were. The first one was Cobra, and that one is definitely G.I. Joe. But there was at least one before that came out that was a G.I. Joe, and I don't think they ever brought out another Cobra version of him until the 25th anniversary line. Kiwi's got to get used to green stuff. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Lilith is saying it's a lesson to everyone.
Is that green stuff?
Green stuff is the name of the stuff, yeah. Because you mix the blue and the yellow parts together, and then once they mix, this as a teacher, Phil, that once you put those two colors together, it creates a green, and then that's when it's a magic, and then it's a race against time before it hardens. Then Lilith is saying it's a lesson to everyone. Always dig in those bargain bins because you sometimes can find a hidden diamond. And you found a couple of diamonds there, Nate.
Yeah, I did.
That Destro I've never seen before. That's probably quite a rare figure, I'd imagine.
Yeah, well,
not rare, but not commonly found.
It's not the most common one, no.
Like, well, how many people would have seen one and then like not recognize that that's a Joe though? It's like it's nothing like it's not built.
Yeah.
Morning, Jay. How are you, buddy? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. I'll say this, Nate. Some of the characters from Star Brigade are a little bit more recognizable than others. But if you didn't know much about G.I. Joe, or even if you did, and you saw a character that you weren't familiar with, because there must have been, other than Robo Joe, maybe the Bat. I don't know. If you had a look at one and you didn't recognize the character straight away, you'd be like, "What is this?" You'd be surprised if it was a Joe. I would be. And in fact, it's a little bit closer to the what was his name? Deep Six. When that one came out, he didn't have much articulation. He only moved at the arms, but he looked a bit blocky. These guys at least have leg articulation and stuff. But odd choice, but not bad. Like I like some of them. Like not all of them. Not everyone in Star Brigade had those robot suits or whatever they're called. Yeah. But like I said, Robo Joe. That's the best one. Best of the bunch.
So that was the last of the Joes that I picked up. I picked up 2 Leonard figures.
Yeah, but this is O-Ring a Bell, so we can show O-Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy.
He's out there.
He's got texture all over his face. Or either he's just bitten
smooching. He's been out smooching.
So it's pretty cool. I recognize the arms. He's got the same arms as the character. He's Whistling Willie or something, or Whispering
Oh,
Willie.
yeah.
Whistling Willie. And it's supposed
Cool name either way.
I used the one of these arms to make my Cyberduke custom because he was missing that arm, and that was just floating around in the same bag of toy parts. So
Yeah, right. I can't remember this guy's name, but I do remember maybe in a different color. But I do remember this guy. They had a lot of biker like Mad Max looking fellas. First date Zartan, end of date Zartan, end of the night. Those pants are cool though. I like him.
Yeah,
I like that guy.
He's a really cool. He's probably actually the coolest Lennon figure I've got. I think.
Yeah, he's very
pretty
cool.
badass. And then the other guy is just a bald dude.
He looks a little bit like there's a character called Airtight, and when he takes off his helmet, he looks a bit like that. But he might be able to hang out with Dojo, and they can discuss hair transplant. But he looks pretty. He's got a big target in the center of him.
Yeah.
Just let it go.
Yeah. Shave it off.
Meant to be like a radiation suit or something. He's got the big yellow gloves. Or
yeah. He looks pretty cool. So obviously he would have come with a helmet.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
I hope so.
So the sculptor is putting together these guys, and they're like, "How can we make this guy just a little bit different?" So I'm going to sculpt him without hair.
But as we're saying on Zellas, like getting a 3-pack of those for what $2 or whatever back in the day, just
so good.
Yeah, you can't beat it for value. Absolutely. Even if some of them do look ridiculous.
And they were true international heroes. Like G.I. Joes were very international, really, more than the original theme song gave off. But the core, they had Aussies in there. They had other people, you know.
Yes, but they had Aussies, yeah.
Yeah, hazmat. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's my Collecticon pickups.
Well done.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, a healthy injection.
Is that is that a trip that you went on with the Keep On Collecting guys and Scott Crusher?
Yeah. We all met up down there. So that was the main reason I went, was to meet up with them. I was like, I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna buy lots of toys. Wrong.
10 liters later.
Brilliant. Well, that leads in very well. I've got one. So Zazel gave me the word to jump on the stream an hour before kickoff. So this is the latest O-ring that I've not picked up. Actually, Matt from Keep On Collecting sent this guy over to me from one of his toy hunts recently. So this is, of course, Slaughter's Marauders Low Light. And
is it the Euro version or the regular version?
There's a Euro version.
Yeah,
that doesn't ring a bell.
That doesn't ring a bell.
No, I'm pretty sure this must be the standard issue. No, I think these guys were released in 1989.
Cool.
But Low Light just seems like an odd pick for Slaughter's Marauders, given the fact that they're wearing, the gorish blue and bright greens and stuff. I mean, he'd look great in Night Force, but I don't know about Slaughter's Marauders. But anyway, I love him. He's great. So
well, here's a picture.
My wee Joe and Tell.
There's a picture of the UK Europe version.
Oh, yeah.
I dig the purple.
The blue, unless it's the color coming out of your phone, the blue looks a lot brighter than the guy I've got.
And apparently the difference, what's the difference on this one? The European version has several differences. The green and the blue are much brighter than the American release figure. The figure was made in China instead of Brazil. Does it say made in China or made in Brazil on the bum?
Let me check his ass.
It should say on his waist piece, maybe.
Come Can't see it.
Well,
I
the
can
American
see-
figure.
all I can see is Hasbro 1986.
Oh, well,
on-
that's because
right.
it was a remold of the original one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when he was originally released, right? I can't see a country.
Well, then it might just be the regular one because the ones that were made in
yeah.
China, they had the stamp removed, and the European figure has unpainted rivets.
Okay.
So, are yours riveted? Are yours riveted, painted, or unpainted riveted?
Mine are unpainted riveted.
Okay. Well, still, it looks pretty bright on mine. Almost for a second thought you had the European one, but still a great figure. I didn't bite the bullet. Bite the bullet. I didn't bite the bullet on any of the Marauders for so long because of the blue.
Yeah.
The Sarge, his isn't too bad because it's mostly just his aviators and then all of his tank top. So it is crazy. But the card says that it's some sort of new camouflage that makes them harder to see. I don't know about that.
They're going to Pandora.
I don't know about the beanie on the top being the brightest part of, like he ain't hiding much there.
No.
But yeah, I never had any of these Marauders as a kid either. Like I think I was out of Joe's by the time they came out. But yeah, I got Barbecue a year or so back, and as soon as I got them in hand, I was like, man, these guys are freaking awesome. So I've got 3 out of there's 6 of them in the team. I'm halfway there. I've got Barbecue, I've got Mutt and Junkyard, and now I've got Lowlight.
So you need Sarge, you need Spirit, and you need Footloose.
Sounds right. Yep.
Well, I've got plenty of Marauders Sarge. I'd be happy to send one your way, Phil.
I'll take him.
I'll bring one with me.
There you go. Deal.
All right, and then you can just owe me a beer. How much is a beer worth in Japan?
Not much.
Perfect. I'll take
deal
it.
For me. That's a good deal for me. That's all I'll say.
Oh, man, this is the only one that drinks them.
No, I was only going to say the flip side of it, beer is very expensive on at your end because beer is getting very expensive here. It's like ludicrous amounts of money for a beer nowadays. You can barely get a pint for under $20. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Why do you think I drink in every stream? It's like water.
That was more so. I was saying that it might be expensive for you to buy a beer, not for me to give you a toy. I'm happy to give you a toy because we're
never
buds.
expensive to buy you a beer, mate. That's priceless.
What's that? Oh, Phil, there is a custom figure of yourself in those colors, bro.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Now, Kiwi sent me when I was in New Zealand in January. Kiwi found out that I was going to be in New Zealand. He sent one custom figure to my parents' place, and I think it ended up turning up at my parents' place the day after I flew back to Japan. So it's in New Zealand waiting for me when I go back. So cheers, Campbell. Can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to see it either.
That'd be awesome.
I think he was talking about I think Lilith was talking about the inside the leg, Phil, of the toy, not necessarily yourself.
Well, there's not much. Yeah. Okay.
Expensive. Have you got anything else you'd like to show, Phil? Or are you?
No, that was it. Shout out to Matt from Keep On Collecting for hooking me up with that one.
Awesome bloke.
Yeah, he's a good bloke.
I thought
great.
We're looking at Sarge tonight. I thought, I'll show a Marauder.
Well, speaking of, I always have a Sarge on hand.
Yeah, of course you do.
There he is. Hello. So Space Command has been sending me care packages from the space station. And I don't know if you saw the last video that he put out yesterday or the day before. He did a Action Force / Super 7 video. And I thought that was great. Yeah.
Making me buy stuff. How dare you?
He's a big fan of the 5 POA Super 7 action figures, and he sent me a couple. One of which was the Crimson Guard.
Oh yeah,
5 POA style. So he's got he's on duty, so that's why he's at attention. There's a cool little panel in the back there of other ones that you can get.
Very nice.
Comes with a file card, which how hard is that to do? Just put a file card on G.I. Joe. Like these days, it's almost impossible, but that's pretty cool.
Classified, take note, Hasbro.
Yeah, just do it. But this guy's cool. Speaking of Destro,
Yeah, that Destro.
Oh, that is badass. That is awesome.
this is Red Jackal. So in the UK, he was known as Red Jackal. How cool is that, having the skull and crossbones? I would argue that this is a way better design than the original Destro. That's just me, but and they've taken a like an animation clip and they've only gone and made it look like the Red Shadows version.
Yeah, that's cool.
And this guy is from Latvia. So he's not from Scotland, where the other one was from Scotland. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So I got a couple of 5 POAs. Woo woo woo.
Good stuff.
Yeah, Lilith was excited for Spacey. Me too. You know, we don't deserve Space Commander. He's such a legend.
He's a good shot though. Like dropping packages from space and landed on your front porch.
No, I had to go hunting for it. He's a brave man. But yeah, there's a version. I don't know what that means. I know the cartoon. There's a Cobra Commander Funhouse robot. I remember the cartoon. I need to check out what this toy does in order to make him a Funhouse robot version. My eyes aren't good enough to tell from the picture. I'm getting old. Too old! All right, so because we've only got Phil for an hour, happy hour with Phil, well, let's jump right into the game. And guess what? Oh, G-Force Racing 20 is here. A good Monday morning from NC, everyone. I see the crew is even more handsome today. Yeah, triply so. I'm trying to think where NC... What's NC? North Carolina? If that's North Carolina, I've been there. I went to North Carolina and South Carolina to visit the Sarge and to visit with Kelly. But we're moving on to a show. We've got a clip. Another clip. Let's do it.
Oh, I love a good clip.
It's time to ask WTF, what the faction?
Yay! We're playing What the Faction. So we're going to test...
I do abuse the yay sound effect.
I don't know if it's an abuse. I definitely like it.
Educational show.
So Lilith was saying, you know, the episode of Funhouse, or Cobra Commander is a robot in that episode. Yeah, but I do remember that episode. But I want to know how the toy differentiates from regular Cobra Commander to look like a robot in this form. I don't know. I can't tell. Can I tell from that? Maybe his arm looks a little bit robotic. If he's got a spring on his head, that would make sense. I don't know. My eyes don't work so good. But I put together a little show. Now, I don't put slides together like Adam does. That guy can put together some slides like nobody's business. Is that faction your final answer? We'll find out. So I think I picked 10 characters, right? Now, I'm going to give you the name of the character, and you're going to have to decide, does that sound like a G.I. Joe, or does that sound like a Cobra? Right? So you're don't overthink it. Just whatever comes into your mind. Say, oh, okay, don't get overly carried away. Don't get stressed out over it, Phil. But like you think, like with a name like Sergeant Slaughter, for instance, that sounds like a pretty bad name, like a bad guy, Sergeant Slaughter. And he did start off as a bit of a heel, so that makes sense. But with Sergeant Slaughter, it does sound like a bad guy, but he is a G.I. Joe. So I thought I'd throw in Jobra. Is it G.I. Joe or is it Cobra?
Love it.
So you can see we've got Heel Sarge on the side there and G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, red, white, and blue, and camouflage, our hero, and my best friend, Sergeant Slaughter. You guys are very close seconds, but you understand, right? You understand.
Yeah, we understand.
Not offended at all, mate. Not at all.
Good. I don't want to make it weird. So I'm going to give you an easy one first. and then as we go, it's either going to get more complicated or be like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And it's okay if you get it wrong. Okay? Don't worry about it. Just fun. So the first one, off the bat, easy one, Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes is a good guy. He is.
He is a G.I. Joe. Started off as, yes, correct. Bow! Ba-na-ba-ba-na. He is a G.I. Joe.
yeah.
Started off as a commando, and I prefer that. I love the commando idea for Snake Eyes. Turning him into a ninja after the fact, not bad. Like version 2 is pretty cool, but then it sort of got a little bit silly, and everyone started to become ninjas.
I just got the commando version of Snake Eyes and the classified. He looks amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it's too good.
Yeah. I prefer the commando look too.
How
Those
great!
goggles.
How great is an Uzi?
Oh,
It's like everyone in the 80s had an Uzi, right?
Yeah, they did.
Even we did, Phil. Remember?
I remember those days.
Yeah, everyone was running around with Uzi. I did have an Uzi actually, but it was like a cap gun version. It was pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure I had a water Uzi.
Water Uzi. Oh, everything was an Uzi.
Yep.
So well done. Next one, we're going to look at Stalker. Stalker sounds not flattering. But what do you think?
Yeah. I'm going to guess Cobra with this one.
Okay, Phil, you want to jump in with your guess on Stalker? I think you would know this one.
I'm afraid to say, Nate, you might be a bit wrong there, buddy.
Stalker. If we were talking Action Force, this would be Stalker.
There's good stalkers and bad stalkers, right?
There, well, depends. Depends how famous you are. So in Action Force, Snake Eyes was known as Stalker.
Okay.
Does that ring a bell? It should.
No, not for me.
Oh. Well, check out Incoming Transmissions with Space Commander. He knows more about this stuff than I do. But in our instance, we're talking G.I. Joe or Cobra. It's a G.I. Joe. It's our Ranger Stalker.
Cool.
I now have this figure now because of the transforming Bumblebee. I didn't have this one before. Great guy. I'm going to put Phil at the top there so he doesn't get covered up by. We can't cover up your handsomeness, Phil. So
the stalker that comes with the canoe or whatever is a great fig too.
So good, and a regular price G.I. Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
And nowadays, if you've got a canoe with your Joe, it's going to cost you a little extra. All right. Free, absolutely free. And there's who else came with one? Tracker came with a inflatable raft. Brilliant.
I've got that raft here somewhere. I had it for like 2 years before I knew it was actually a G.I. Joe thing.
Well, you know what they say.
Because knowing is half the battle.
Space Commando.
I can't believe it took 38 minutes to have that clip put in.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to do it so many times. I was like, no. I think the last time I might have played it like 4 or 5 times.
You're being very restrained tonight, mate.
I'm just trying not to waste your time, Phil. G-Force Racing is saying, I'm pretty sure all water guns in the 80s used to be Uzis by law. Yep.
I believe it.
I do believe that too. All right, moving on to the next guy. Snowjob. That can't be a real name.
Sounds like a good time.
Real. It does sound like a good time.
It's got to be a Joe for show.
A Joe for show, Phil?
I reckon he's right.
Ba-ba-bum-ba-bum. Snow Trooper, Arctic Trooper, in fact. Come with some cool skis, an epic backpack, and how's this for a bit of trivia? The gun that he comes with, I don't know what the name of it is, I forget at the minute, but that was the one that they all used in the cartoon. Everyone's carrying around that gun. That's like the standard G.I. Joe issue gun. It's true. Knowing is half the battle.
And he's good representation for the ginger community.
The gingers, yes. Yep. It's true.
It's a great ginger beard, isn't it?
You know what? That would look a little bit like you, Nate, if you put some goggles on.
Yeah. I know what I'm going as for Halloween this year.
People will know. Everyone gets a snow job.
I'll be regretting my decision. Why am I dressed up for snow? It's October.
All right, next one. Coming up, Firefly. Everyone knows what a beautiful firefly looks like. Bright in the night sky. Majestic.
Yeah. That sounds like a Joe name.
It does sound like a Joe name. No, Phil?
No, I know this one because this is one of the Takara figures that I need for my collection. And he is a Cobra.
Cobra. Michael's saying that the Funhouse Cobra Commander has a metallic finish and a molded rivet gear at the joints. That's cool. Okay, I need to check that one out.
Well, I am disappointed about the misleading names here because Firefly does sound like a good guy name, and he does not have a glowing backside. So
that is true. You're right about that.
On 2 counts.
Yeah, that is disappointing. Now that you've mentioned it, and he's showing his backside too.
He is showing his backside, yeah.
Which is an odd. You know what, Nate? This seems like a job for you. I reckon you might be able to come up with a different Firefly.
Yeah, I'll just make him a custom backpack with a little light in it. That some little like glowing cheek meat.
Glowing cheek meat. There's a term I wasn't expecting to hear in today's episode. So Firefly unfortunately fell into the camp of who can we turn into a ninja, and I wonder if they just did that because he wears a mask, and they're like, that'll do. It wasn't originally a ninja, later became a ninja. I remember?
I love his backpack though. How you can sort of take off the wee part and you can see all the, what he's carrying inside.
Yeah, and he comes with a little walkie-talkie or phone or whatever that's called. But it's got all those tools in there. Is that the polar bear pack with toy? I got the 25th anniversary snow job with polar battle bear, and it also came with a 25th anniversary, so an O-ring one and the 25th anniversary one called the past and present set. That was pretty cool. Oh, it does have similar eyes to the Hydro Viper. He probably wouldn't like it, yeah. If you wanted Firefly to be a Joe, guess what? He can be. You can play with your toys however you like. In fact, I used to make, because I only had one of the Vipers, so I'd make the Viper its own character, and I made the Bat, even though it was Cobra, and I only had one of those, I made him a reprogrammed Bat and made him a good guy because I was like, I can do whatever I want.
Has he got the same head sculpt as Beachhead? Because Beachhead is a Joe with the nose that's slightly different, is it?
So Beachhead's a little bit more bulbous too, and it has it's almost like a two segmented mask as well. So like this part looks like it's different to this part. If that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Cool. So Beachhead's coming up next. No, just kidding. Next, we've got Hit and Run.
A hit and run sounds like a bad guy thing to do, but I've been wrong before, so I'm going to say he's a Joe.
All right, he's locking it in.
Yeah.
Phil?
Lock it in, Eddie.
Lock it in. G.I. Joe?
Yep.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. He is. He's got a cool pack. Very cool Joe. If you go back and watch one of the Joburg videos, Steve's dressed up as Hit and Run. Does a pretty good job. Wreckage was the same mold as Firefly. Yeah. I think originally known as Sabretooth for Tiger Force.
Hit and Run is such a sweet figure. I think it was released in '88, and I was pretty much out of Joe. And then I saw this guy on the shelf, and it pulled me back in for a very short time. So I did have him in the '88 line, like that duffel bag, and his accessories are are outstanding.
So how did the duffel bag work?
I think there may be a couple of different versions, perhaps. I can't remember if it opens up or not.
Phil's one came with a cricket bag.
Oh, ouch! But it looks like it goes through the chest as well, according to the image on the card. I didn't have it, so I don't know. But it looks like it goes through the center there.
Yeah, he does have a wee piece on his belt there, a hook piece where you can slide through the rope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what the G.I. Joburg guys, as you said, did a review of him and mentioned that, which I never knew about when I was a kid either.
Yeah, okay. I need to go back and watch that video then. I just remember Steve being all dressed up. That was a collaboration with Hooded Cobra Commander, that video. But a great character. And I think he was a one and done hit and run. Very cool.
Hit and ran.
He did.
Out of there.
All right. Crazy legs.
Crazy legs.
Yep.
I reckon Crazy Legs has got to be a Joe name, surely.
Could be, Phil.
Sorry, no, you said Joe.
Yeah.
You would be correct, I think. Well, I know you're correct.
Dun, 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 dun. Now this guy comes with. Yeah. Oh, he does look cool. I like this guy. He's got some cool padded looks to him. He doesn't come with a parachute, but he comes with. Well, he doesn't come with a working parachute, which is a shame. But it does look like he's. Maybe that's why he's got that face on the card there. He's like, oh damn, I forgot my chute. But he looks pretty cool. I don't think they made another Crazy Legs either, but maybe because he didn't survive the drop.
Yeah, that's why his legs are crazy.
He landed wrong.
He landed badly, and his legs were facing the wrong direction. And they said, "Hey, Crazy Legs. We're gonna call him Crazy Legs."
Also, you notice, I'll go back a little. You notice that in here he's got the digital pattern behind him. Digital pattern for hit and run, but they had the explosion background for Firefly, Snow Job, Stalker, Snake Eyes, Explosion. I like the explosion better. I wonder why they went with the digital.
So they must have changed in the 87 line then with the digital stuff. But going back to Hit and Run, Lilith has mentioned, so I was completely off. Lilith knows obviously a lot more than I do. One of the versions of Hit and Run came with the parachute.
He came with a parachute?
She's right, yeah.
I did not know that. You know what that calls for?
Because knowing is half the battle.
Space Commando.
I didn't know he came with a parachute. That's pretty cool. And the bag does open up to feed through the string and tie the knot around the post. Cool. Thank you, Lilith. Lilith is a wealth of knowledge for G.I. Joe. Very often they'll hit me up after a show and go, "Did you know?" And I was like, "Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool." And there was a Night Force Crazy Legs. That's right. I forgot all about Night Force Crazy Legs. That's cool. Who else tucked the handles of a plastic shopping bag under our arms and figures for a parachute? Yep.
Yeah. I also made a little hot air balloon out of a plastic bag and those tea light candles in a similar way.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a Tiger Force Hit and Run. I did not know that. Knowing is half the battle. Play the clip. I'm going to look that one up right now. I'm interested to see Tiger Force Hit and Run. That is cool because I only know the green guy. Let's check him out. Check him out one time, won't you? Oh, he was a UK Europe exclusive. All right, I'm going to show you. Oh man! All right, comparison.
Comparison time.
Shall we go? Where's the carded version? All right. So this guy, pretty damn cool, in my opinion. Now, don't let my initial reaction sway you from enjoying what I call a downgrade. But
Oof.
Where? I can't see anything. He's too well camouflaged.
hang on, I'm gonna solo myself for a second just so we can get a good look at it.
Whoa-wee. He is out there.
He's something, all right. I was not familiar with this version. I mean, green really does maketh the man, because that doesn't. Yikes! Speaking of yikes, let's get off of solo.
Kind
yeah,
of looks like he was auditioning to be a crash test dummy.
Just garbage. But thanks for letting us know that. I did not know that. And there's a Tiger Force tunnel rat. Oh, okay. I need to go back and start looking at more of these Tiger Force fellas. But yes, I definitely did, and you've unlocked a memory. I loved that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it worked better than others. I think it depended on what type of plastic bag you were using.
Yeah.
All right, next guy. We did Crazy Legs already. Blanca. What?
He's
Blanca.
nice. He's a Street Fighter.
What? This might be a red herring.
Trick question.
Trick question. Actually, he's a G.I. Joe.
Oh. Way off.
He is a G.I. Joe, and he's affiliated as good, so that makes him one of the G.I. Joes. Whereas, people like it doesn't say that M. Bison or Vega or anyone is necessarily Cobra, but it does say that they're the bad guys, right? So because they're branded as G.I. Joe, Real American Heroes, they are part of G.I. Joe, and therefore, if your allegiance is good, you must be G.I. Joe, as Blanca is. Although you would think Blanca, being a brutish animal man, might be a baddie, but I like that he's a good guy.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Says, I'll let your youngin know that close-up revealed your eyes are indeed blue. That is true. Did I tell you that, Phil?
Beautiful eyes, buddy.
Oh, thanks. They don't work so well. But my son, literally this year, and he is 18, only this year figured out that I had blue eyes. He says, because you squint too much. He goes, have you got blue eyes? Have you got blue eyes? I said, I do, yeah. And I just noticed, because you squint too much. Yes. Well, anyway, I will pass that on. And Hit and Run came out in 1990. I love these Street Fighter guys. I love them.
It's amazing how many I didn't realize how many weapons and accessories these Street Fighter figures came with. Because obviously in the game it's just him, right? But he's loaded.
But they gave all those weapons and accessories to Blanca, who fights with his claws and feet.
Yes, that's right. They put boots on him too.
Includes 9 accessories, dude.
And another fun fact: the Vega did not come with the claw. So there were some of these did come with a claw. They came with a pair of claws, all on the sprue or the weapons tree, or however you want to call it. But yeah, he did not come with a claw at all. I think Chun-Li did. I think Sagat may have, but Vega did not come with a claw. In the commercial though, they show him with a claw because they're like, obviously he needs the claw.
Yeah, that's a bit of an oversight.
That was a bit of a trick question, but technically G.I. Joe. All right, on to the next one. Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero. He was. He's Mortal Kombat, but he was aligned good, I think. So he'd be a Joe.
Could be Phil.
I'm gonna go Joe.
Yeah, because he was a G.I. Joe.
Rude. That was. This was a setup.
It is. In fact, I didn't even have Blanca on this list originally. I didn't have Blanca. I was like, "Ooh, I could do a thing."
Well done.
This guy, thanks, Lilith. This guy is lame. The head sculpt is lame. The picture looks cool. the picture looks cool because it looks like he's got he's got a beanie or what do they call that? A cap. They've got a beanie on his head, and they've got the hood over the beanie, and it's popping out a little bit, but the toy itself just looks like his face is being pushed out of the backside of a Smurf.
He's Snowjob's sidekick.
Yeah, I give Sub-Zero 0 out of sub 10.
It looks like he's shivering. Like he doesn't look tough at all. He's like, I'm freaking freezing out here. Get me out of here. Get me out of the cold.
A little misdirection. You got it. He's the winter operations specialist, but he's got enough blue on him that I reckon he might even be able to fit in with the Sorters Marauders.
He's definitely no Snowjob, that's for sure.
No, definitely not. Now, have I got any left? Who's left? Oh, I've got a couple of Mercer.
I'm gonna guess Cobra for no reason, but other than no idea.
Right, well, before we do the reveal and before I ask you, Phil, there's a comment here by Michael. There's a long one. I'm gonna read it out. The one commercial for these specifically had Cobra Commander say that Cobra had Street Fighters too. Okay, cool. So you could argue that M. Bison and Company are Cobra, but Michael prefers to treat them as separate. Yeah, I mean, they could be separate as far as, like, do you mean separate as in they're just part of their own world, or separate from Cobra but still in that world? Because I'd like to have them separate, maybe as far as like Destro and the Iron Grenadiers are separate, and the Headhunters are all separate, but still technically working with Cobra. There we are. Competing bad guy group. Gotcha.
That makes
all right,
sense.
let's have a look at Mercer. Let's have a look at Mercer. Phil, what's your opinion?
Now, isn't Mercer like Sarge? He was a heel with Cobra, and then he made a bit of a turn.
Right, he made it
the good side. So he's a Joe. He was
right. I would have accepted Joe or Cobra in that one. He started off as a Cobra. He was a Cobra Viper, I believe, and then he became one of the Renegades, which is not officially part of G.I. Joe, but it's like a subgroup, one of Silent Soldier's Renegades. But out of all the Renegades, Mercer was the only one to transition into a full-time Joe, grew out his beard, and became a mercenary for
cool. I didn't know there was another version of him.
When did he?
Well, you know what? Then I've got to do. Do it.
Because knowing is half the battle.
Space Commando.
At what point did he become $1 Million Mercer?
Yeah, exactly. The $1 Million Merc right there.
I'm gonna say that head sculpt looks very, very, very familiar.
Yep, that's the $1 Million Merc. That was after that. I reused that torso too for Macho Madness. Yeah, it's got a bit of a robot arm thing happening. I'm not sure what the deal is with that. And a backpack rocket launcher. But damn, that's a great figure.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah,
he's cool.
That's one handsome man.
He doesn't need the accessories. The accessories ruin him. Just give him a normal color gun or something.
The
Get rid
bright
of all
orange,
bright orange guns and.
Wait, I gotta show. I know we're running close to the hour, Phil, but I gotta show you.
You're good. I'm good. Keep going. I'm fine.
I'm gonna show you a fun school version of this Mercer. While I'm looking that up, GeForce Racing 20 saying Mercer sounds like half a mercenary, maybe a Cobra little person. Yep, I'm not even sure what Mercer means. Is it short for mercenary? Okay. Here is Fun School. I'll try to get a close up of best I can. Yojo.com. Let me just get this. I had this version of the Fun School version in my collection for a while, and then was like, I just can't with this guy. So he's not very handsome.
Can't see. Oh, there he goes.
It's just, I don't know. There's something about him that doesn't look right. And they didn't paint. They didn't paint his glove on either hand. He's got 2 flesh hands. But in person, it is not great. But yeah, so he was a Cobra. Oh, Phil, you missed it. Here, I'll show you. Chapow. It's not looking great.
What is this? Another version?
The Fun School version.
Oh, the Fun School. Oh, yeah.
So
they changed up
got,
his weapons as well.
Yeah, yellow. Still a bit of orange in there. But yeah, they don't paint his gloves on. His head sculpt.
Not as good.
No, but this one, great. And it's a shame that the other ones didn't also officially make it into G.I. Joe, because I quite like the sculpt of Taurus and Red Dog. But Mercer gets a second version, and I think he looks good. They actually did change his name on the file card too. Maybe we'll do an O-Ring a Bell with the Renegades.
Yeah, cool. I like that.
All right, I think I've got one more to go, and it is Ice Cream Soldier.
Sounds delicious.
That can't be real. That can't be real.
That can't be real. With a name as insidious as Ice Cream Soldier, it has to be a Cobra.
Drives around in an ice cream truck late at night. What do you think, Phil?
Yeah, I'm going Cobra.
Ice Cream Soldier is G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe.
Yeah, he's a flamethrower. Now I will say this though, they repainted the Ice Cream Soldier into a Cobra. Does anyone in the comments know what Cobra they repainted him into? Finger tongue looking good. Yeah, finger looking good. That would be a sherbet flavored ice cream, probably though, right?
Is
It
he
looks
supposed
tangy? That's for sure.
Tangy.
Is he a human in a suit, or is he a machine?
He's ice cream.
Yeah, just sentient ice cream with a flamethrower. That's just
He's ice cream in a fruit. Yeah.
just like.
How the hell did they come up with this
Why am I
name?
doing this?
Where did this name come from?
Should I look at this file card?
Yeah.
They were
All right,
running out of ideas.
Yo, Joe, Ice Cream Soldier.
Is gonna say
This must have been some kind of dare or joke within Hasbro, right?
Dried ice
You lose
cream.
the bet to name the next figure Ice Cream Soldier.
All right, let's read his file card and see what it comes up with. All right, Ice Cream Soldier. This can't be real. All right, so the quote is, "Eating ice cream without hot fudge is like fighting without ammunition."
Jesus.
I swear that's what it says. Eating ice cream without hot fudge is like fighting without ammunition. What's his file name? His file name is Tom Henry Reagan. He's a fire operations expert, and he's also a barbecue chef. All right, here we go with the main meat and potatoes of this file card. The last thing you would expect from G.I. Joe's fieriest flamethrower commando is for him to be called... Oh, it's fiercest. Fiercest flamethrower commando is for him to be called Ice Cream Soldier. However, it's a perfect cover for him, because when Cobra hears the Joes are sending in a guy into battle with a code name like that, they don't expect much more than a sweet-toothed kid with a chocolate ice cream stain splattered on his fatigues. Cobra's perceptions of him change fast when they see Ice Cream Soldier fire up his supercharged flamethrower and blast a 75-foot stream of flaming gasoline into their foxholes and munition dumps. Holy hell. Talk about a firefight. Then it says the Ice Cream Soldier is a one-man inferno who scorches through slimy snakes until they melt like hot fudge on a summer sidewalk. Holy mackerel. So there you go.
You picture the conversation at Cobra HQ. This is like where they think that they're sending a kid with chocolate ice cream over. So, I know I'm evil, but that's messed up.
Oh, all right. So they did repaint him into Cobras. I've just found that, and he was repainted in 2002.
Chocolate dipped ice cream, is he?
Choc chip, yeah.
Chip,
They were Chip Shock Viper. That's cooler.
Yeah. I kind of dig the orange and yellow. Like,
yeah, I like the sculpt of him. Yeah, the colors I can't get on board with those colors, but the sculpt of him's pretty cool.
I don't mind it. He's era appropriate.
Oh yeah, he's straight out of the 90s for sure.
Yeah, 90s is all bright colors and stuff.
What a wacky figure.
It is Shock Viper. Well done to Lilith and Michael for calling that one out. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. G-Force is asking, what are those 2 long grey tubes on the weapon sprue? Rockets.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got the same little sword thing that came with... Oh, who came with that? The guy with the green vest, I think, maybe had it. And it had a sheath that he could pull it from, like He-Man. What was that guy's name? It all rings a bell, but I can't remember his name. And it looks like almost like Firefly's gun, but I'm not sure. Thanks for tuning in, Kiwi.
See you, buddy.
Spring-loaded missiles, that's right. Lilith, who had the sword? Who had the sword in the sheath? Yeah, it's so cool. Now, Night Kiwi sounds like a Night Force version of our pal Campbell. Night Kiwi.
New custom coming up.
Good night, Kiwi.
Yeah. Good night, Captain Possum. The name actually came from Sergeant Rock. There was a planned movie coming out in the 90s. Another toy company had the toy license. Hasbro made several Joes using the names from Sergeant Rock first. Oh, that's cool. Alrighty. I like that.
Michael knows his stuff.
Yeah, very cool. Iron Grenadiers did have swords, but I'm talking about there was a Joe character that had a sword, and he had like he was wearing a green vest, and it had like and a mustache. What was his name? Anyway, he had a sword, and there was a on a peg that he put on his back was the sheath for the sword. It's so cool.
Oh, I know who it was. It was my dad in the 70s.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, Nate Senior. Who's that in the background?
That'll be my my little one. My little ice cream soldier.
Hello from us. Andrew, how are you? Asking us what time it is. 7 a.m. in New York. We've got 3 different time zones happening right now.
9 p.m. for me, 8:30. 8:30 for Zazel, and it'd be 8 for Phil.
8 for me. Yep.
Yeah.
Half-hour increments. Doable.
I'm going to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning for a stream with Salacious Rum. So
yes.
I'm gonna set the alarm early for that. It's going to be quite a rude awakening, I think. We'll see how that goes.
Unfortunately for Kiwi, it's past 11. He's up late.
He is up late. Very late for him. Although Kiwis like the nighttime. Oh, what's that?
That's Easy Company. That must be the Sergeant Rock. There was Bulldozer, Little Sure Shot, Wild Man, Ice Cream Soldier. Yep, he's in there. The guy with the glasses they've called Four Eyes. And then you've got I can't read some of these, but yeah, Ice Cream Soldier is definitely here.
That was the Motu figure, Four Eyes.
Exactly.
Like they had Triclops.
That might be one for Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a Triclops with an extra eye. He's 4 eyes.
Scotty's here. How are you,
Hey,
Scott? Phil, G-Force Racing Team said that you were friends and to be nice.
I'm ready for it. I'm up for it.
Well, I don't.
Bring on the chaos.
What time does it start? I have to set my alarm.
I don't know if you should.
I like that guy. Like he really commits to the bit. It's like Eldor, right? Eldor and Space Commander. Those guys commit to the bit, and so does Rum.
100%.
Although he does it a little bit more with adult humor and inappropriate jokes, which we love around these parts.
Yep.
Anyway, that was my game.
Yeah, nice game. Yeah, you did pretty well, Nate. I think you got a pass mark, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think he did. I even had some vehicle drivers in there at one point. I had like loaded up maybe 25 to 30 characters, and I was like, "That's too many. That's too many. We'll come back and do it again."
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great compliment coming from the most handsome man on YouTube.
Yeah.
Good on you, Scott.
So what time are you on? I'm gonna put that in my alarm for you, Phil. What time are you?
6 o'clock my time, so I think you're 30 minutes ahead of me.
6:30 a.m.
30 a.m.
All right, but I'm not putting pants on.
Oh, I won't have my pants on either, so don't worry. Yeah.
We know you don't now. So Nate, we've strayed a little bit out of our regular formula the last couple of shows. Last week was the Transformer one, which was great. We played a bit of a game this one. I wonder what we'll do next week.
Maybe we'll kick it back to basics and start. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking, what if we do a triple play, and we'll do the Renegades, and so we can talk about 3 characters in G.I. Joe Renegades from Sergeant Slaughter's little hit and run team. Let's call back to our pal Hit and Run, Tiger Force Hit and Run. Oof. And then after that, we can do the Cobra La 3-pack. Ooh, yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, yeah, you only get to say it 3 times. So no one say it again, or he will show up. Another character I like is that Lack Sivrak. Like, he'll jump into the chat sometimes and just hit that Lack button. Like, that's a cool play on words. I'm easily amused. I'm like, I like that.
Yeah.
If you don't have a coffee pot, get on your Chester copper pots.
What?
That is a very specific. People might not get that reference. Yep. Chester copper pot. Nobody doesn't it ring a bell? Shouldn't. It's not G.I. Joe related.
The name rings a bell, but
Chester.
The great thing about this show is you guys will never run out of Joes to cover, because you've got hundreds and hundreds to get through. So this stream is going to go on forever.
Well, not just that, but you also have the Street Fighter and the Mortal Kombat figures, which we've only just touched on, and then who knows where. And then they keep bringing out more stuff like the cool cup. The cool cup. I love that toy so much. I love it. In fact, I might. Do I still have the slide here somewhere? Oh, you got it! Bam! Bam!
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
I love it. It was a pain in the butt to transform, so I won't be doing that too often. But
no, it is a really tricky one to transform for me. I had to use the instructions for the first time for a long time with that Megatron. Yeah, Street Fighter Joes.
It is not a very intuitive transformation, but it works eventually. So
good. Oh, I love that toy. I still have mine in his tank mode as well. I will probably transform it for an episode coming up, but I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Put it on my Joe shelf or my Transformers shelf. I think there's more room in the Transformers cupboard than the Joe shelf.
Well, we could also do a Sergeant Savage show. Yeah, it's O-Ring. We could do one for the core.
Yeah.
Talk about Boomerang Billy. Oh, I just love these. Oh, they're gone too far. But yeah, they're so good. They're so good. They're too good, if anything. And how good is that? That's got to be the best toy coming out this year. I think it comes out in October, maybe November, something like that.
It's going to be a long wait for you, buddy. You'll be crossing off the days.
So I was hoping that they would come out locally, because sometimes EB Games or Zing will have them, or JB Hi-Fi will have them on pre-order, which is where I got most of these other ones from, JB Hi-Fi or Zing. Nate, you got yours from Amazon, I believe.
Yeah.
This one,
I looked at previous ones in JB Hi-Fi. In fact, it's where I first saw the Megatron one when it came out, and I was very tempted, but if I didn't end up picking it up. But then I saw it on Amazon for like $65. I was just like, yeah, having that.
it's just a really great toy. Like, it's a solid hiss tank, right? If you don't know that there are Megatron parts in it, what's the undercarriage look like on yours, Nate? If you don't mind, sorry.
Look at my undercarriage.
Yeah, show us what you got. Right, that's pretty good. You can't really tell that those are Megatron's legs.
No.
And the back of the hiss is if you take the back panel off, that's where the head. Oh, you can see the Cobra symbol. I mean, the Decepticon symbol there, but that's all right. It's a solid hiss tank, and it's also a pretty solid robot too.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It just looks so nice and shiny and new. I've got a vintage hiss tank, and I love it, but it's even the black, the coloring kind of starts to fade and stuff, and
right.
It's an old girl, but that one looks awesome.
I haven't opened the Baroness figure yet. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I still got the.
I don't have any carded Joes, and I'm not likely to. So I was like, it looks nice as it is, but and it'll mean it's just one less Joe I'll have to pick up after it falls over a million times.
True. Well, if I recall correctly, the Sarge and the Leatherneck will come with stands, so they'll have stands if you do open them up from their cards, which makes it easier. But
I love the color of Sarge's campaign cover, the brown color.
Yep, animation accurate.
Brilliant. Yeah.
I guess if I have one thing that I'm not fond of, and it's only a nitpick, is that they've made Leatherneck's gun green.
Yeah, it's
as opposed to the grey that I believe the other one was. When I looked at it, like, I understand that they're going to have. Where do I have the slide here from when we were looking at it? What's this one? All right, let's have a look. Oh, so good. I've gone off track, fellas. Sorry.
This definitely rings a bell.
All roads lead to Transformer Cup.
So I think because the backpack on Leatherneck is green, they've just used the same plastic for the gun, which is fine. But they've gone an extra mile with the with Sergeant Slaughter's accessory, the swagger stick with the gold tip and the brand.
At a certain point, you like, if they've gone, we need to save a little bit of money on this, we'll just make the gun out of the same plastic. I can come with that. That's fine.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I think it looks great. Leatherneck. Yeah. I'm going back through all my slides again now. Oh dear. All right, man. Get out of here. Well, I thought I had a picture of Leatherneck in his card. Look, so you can see he's got a stand at the bottom there. He's got a black stand. I would be interested to know, although I don't think it is, if the wristbands are painted all the way around as opposed to stopping at the bottom of the wrist. So there's Leatherneck with the green rifle, and his originally came with the grey one. So it's like a nitpick. It's just a little nitpick. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Why do you reckon they did it? Just to make him more like, I guess if you've got the original old school, it just makes them a little bit different. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say it would just be to shave a little bit of money off the production cost. I'd say if because the backpack's the same plastic.
Oh, okay.
They make them both in one hit.
The same color.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Probably.
But yeah, I mean, I think this one looks like gruff and rough and military, and I love this version of Leatherneck. Don't get me wrong, but this guy, you wouldn't want to mess with this guy.
He's got his angry eyes on.
Yeah.
Is the star on the side yellow or blue? That's a good question. Let's take another look. It's blue on this one, blue and white on this one. And on cup, blue and white still. Still blue and white. And I like that they've got the Autobot symbol on there, not hidden somewhere. It's like front and center. There it is. Push the flag up a little and slap that Autobot symbol on it. So good. And I found a different 360 of the Triple T while I was gushing all over the internet at pictures of it, and found that the back of it opens up and shows off a computer panel.
Oh,
so the back engine cover thing pops open on a hinge, and there's a computer back there for some reason. I'm not sure why. Not sure.
See that?
I don't
see the Sergeant Slaughter sticker on the front. Did the original have a Sergeant Slaughter written on the side? Oh, it did. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Unless you had the Action Force version, in which case it was Sergeant Slammer.
Right.
They do have they've got the USA flag right up there with the USA up there too. Maybe I just have the stickers on mine wrong, because I thought the USA sticker on mine was further down the nose cone. What kind of Sarge fan am I? I don't know. But yeah,
I definitely want to get the G1 Cup. After watching your stream about this and you going on about it for an hour or so, I was like, I've got to get the G1 Cup now. I really want to get. Well, top of my G1 list.
One so many times and never quite pulled the trigger, and then now it's got more meaning.
The treasures for trigger. But now, yeah, so you can get the regular version, which I had, and you can also get a Target Master version. So one with a transforming gun.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I loved this toy. I don't know. I don't think Cup was anyone's favorite growing up, but he was definitely mine. I loved it. Still do. And I liked the design of him. I liked that he was like a grizzled old war veteran, but we'd never seen him before. Like, he's been around for longer than most of the Autobots that have come during G1. But yeah, I just thought he was great. He was made partly metal as well. I think later toys sort of stopped doing that. Hefty toy. Loved it. Found it under my pillow.
Hey lads, I think I'm going to have to hit the road.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up now too. Now that I've gone off topic and I'm gushing around, we'll play the outro. We'll get out of here before I go down a rabbit hole.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button.
Thanks for the invite, fellas.
We'll see you in the morning, Phil.
See you later.
All right. And I'll play this one for old time's sake.
Disorder, I'm a hoarder of slaughter. And if I want another slaughter, I just make an order. I pay dollars, not quarters, just to get the slaughters. My obsession overflows like bubble bath water.
I love slaughter, disorder. I'm a hoarder of slaughter. If I want another slaughter, I just make an order. Pay dollars, not quarters, just to get slaughtered. My obsession overflows like bubble bath water. My obsession overflows like bubble bath water. Yeah, I love slaughter, disorder. I'm a hoarder of slaughter. If I want another slaughter, I just make an order. Pay dollars, not quarters, just to get slaughtered. Cause my obsession overflows like bubble bath water. My obsession overflows like bubble bath water. Yeah. slaughter. Just make an order. Pay dollars, not quarters, just to get the slaughter.
Because knowing is half the battle.
Space Commando.